Hello and welcome to another episode of Ridiculous Reverb Listings. I'm your host, Fluff. If you would like to submit your own listing to see in a future episode, I will link down below in the description. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing to further support this channel. And with that, let's dive into it, shall we? Holy Grail, Roland Boss CE1 Chorus Ensemble serial number 1? Serial number 1 for $1 million. Well, not technically $1 million. $999,999. They probably just want to, take offers, and it's not eBay, so people can't bid on it. However, only one available, and one person has this in their cart. Hey Gary, what'd you do over this weekend? I was at lunch, and I was just, I was perusing Reverb like one does, and I picked up the very first Roland Boss chorus ever made. It was only $1 million though. So I feel like I got a good deal. I accidentally bought it. Is there something, here's what I want to know on the Reverb side, because I've never tried to buy something for $1 million. Will that just go through? Will your credit card company just be like, yeah, okay. That's not malicious. The very first Boss chorus ensemble, noise and all. These are very noisy pedals, if you've ever played one. Or all of the ones I have played were very noisy. They sounded really cool though. This is of course used by many a famous guitarist. This one has its own Pelican case. So what is that? And pedals didn't have 9-volt power supply or anything like that. This is before Boss standardized the power supply for pedals, and you just plugged it into the wall. That's what you did. Very cool. Great pictures. I will say, great pictures. Yeah. 1976. That's right. Great photos. Your chance to own a piece of music history. As a collector myself, this is my prized possession, and the price reflects that. I prefer to keep it forever, and I'm not in a rush to sell. Honestly, I think I could sell it for way more in another decade or so. Come on, who's paying $1 million for a guitar pedal that's not used by Hendrix or something, or Stevie Ray Vaughan? I don't even think those went for $1 million, did they? You'll let me know in the comments, I'm sure. But anyway, lastly, I'll leave this listing on this note. If I'm paying you $1 million for a pedal, I get free overnight shipping. That's not negotiable. I'm not paying you another $300 shipping. Like if I sent this guy an offer for $1 million with free shipping, he sounds like he would probably turn it down, Mr. Pedal Palace. He probably would. He's probably gonna see this video too. Let's make an offer though. 15% off. Ooh, I can submit the offer for 850 grand. Let's go 200 bucks. So it's not blocking me automatically. So I feel like even if this thing was $20,000, he'd be like, bruh, no. Hilarious and ridiculous. Fender Telecaster 1964 Green Guard for $5 grand. Someone called Joe Bonamassa. Let him weigh in on this. $70 shipping though. I think that's pretty all right. What? What is with the wood and the... What's happening here? Yeah, okay, great. Your house is beautiful. You're in a lovely location. Yep. Looks like it's from the 60s. Another hard to find part from the part stash. I've seen plenty of pre-CBS Telecasters with the wrong guard, so here's your chance to put it right with a cool 3-ply green guard. I saved it from a 64 Telecaster that was routed for humbuckers and turned into a 7-string. Yuck. It's in super condition with only slight warpage, but screws down flat. Graceland guitars. I mean, $5 grand. I don't know what these things go for. Is this certainly ridiculous? Possibly. I'm not gonna call it ridiculous though, because I don't know vintage. I'm not a vintage Fender guy. I'm not a vintage guy. I mean, I am vintage, I am old, but like, I'm not like, you know, not into the vintage stuff. That's the thing. A day to remember, Music Man Stingray for $9,000. Wow, I do love me a Music Man Stingray. Randy Rhoads tribute, kinda. This was made for my buddy Kevin Scaff. Day to remember. Very, very cool guitar. He played this on tour quite a bit. And it's a custom paint job from Music Man that you can only really get if you're an artist or something. They don't really have a custom shop. Sold as is, one of a kind, for $9,000. So now we know, this is confirmation that Make Believe Studios is clearly on some sort of substance, probably crack, based on the price. You know, if you wanted to order this custom, the same guitar, cost you about $3,000, just so you know. Having ordered many a custom Stingray myself, it cost about $3,000. So just so you know, but go ahead and make him an offer, because $9,000 is absolutely ridiculous. Kevin's not that cool. Sorry, Kevin, love you, but you're not that cool. $9,000? Dog, no. That's sick. Slingerland Radio King era drum tuning key logo stamped nickel finish 1930s, 1940s. That's pretty cool. $100? What's... Y'all sending me some stuff. You're like, this is crazy. That's not. That's pretty cool if it's actually that old. I don't know how old this thing is, obviously. I am not a drum aficionado. It looks pretty old though. That looks pretty dang old. That is pretty cool. Free tech support when you buy this item. How do I use this? I know it's probably just standard text on all of your listings, but still. Enhance your vintage drum key collection. Do people have those? I mean, I guess it stands to reason that they would. This nickel-plated Slingerland Radio King era drum tuning key. It features the Slingerland ARC logo stamp. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's not really much here. I mean, what are you gonna say about a drum tuning key? But the fact that it's probably from the 30s or 40s, it's pretty neat. $100? That's not that ridiculous. Come on. Hondo M787 1980s UFO black. We've had some weird Hondas on here, haven't we? We haven't had this specific one, but we had one kind of similar, I believe. I don't think I had this one on here before. What? The 80s were wild, guys. Everyone was doing the everyone, children, everyone, dogs, pets, everyone was on the cocaine in the 80s. Shanghai Sally. You know, it was snowing in the 80s. What? How comfortable to play sitting down. $890 though. I feel like that's not, I mean, this guitar is certainly ridiculous. Not a crazy deal though. Or it is a crazy deal. Not a crazy price. Here's a very rare Honda UFO HR787MR model. It is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Unidentified fretted object. This guitar is in very good shape. For 40 years, has some pictured things. Includes original hard shell case, which is about as wacky as the guitar. This one is in pretty nice shape. No notes, no damage. Pretty cool. What a weird guitar. $890 doesn't seem crazy to me though. Real talk. Is the guitar certainly ridiculous? Yeah. That's sick. And finally, we have a BC Rich Fat Bob prototype #1 Neil Young American Dream Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young video 1987. Oh, this is made for for Neil Young. This guitar came to us from a local friend who built this guitar while working at BC Rich back in the 80s. It's the first Fat Bob made, an idea developed to combine two of the coolest things, electric guitars and Harley Davidson motorcycles. Oh, so it's a gas tank. It's a side view of a motorcycle gas tank. Okay, I see it now. From the side. What a weird guitar. Skull tuners, get out of here. Oh boy, what weird proportions, right? Someone in Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young was putting booze in this thing. Guarantee it. What does it have to do with Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young? I don't understand. E7. Okay, cool, great. Great. Let's read, shall we? This guitar not only has the distinction of being the first BC Rich model, it was also chosen to appear in a scene in the 1988 music video for Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, American Dream. Reached out to BC Rich to supply some guitars for the video shoot that they had planned in an old South Pasadena residence. Wound up with a handful of guitars and brought them to the set. Neil Young chose this one for the... I'm gonna go watch this video after we're done here. It's pretty cool. Makes me tired though. 7 pounds. $13,000. How did I just now see that? Hang on. Oh, it's still $13,499. And it's just buy it now. That's it. I mean, I get it's a custom BC Rich. Oh boy, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm not. Hey old man, take a look at my Fat Bob. I'm a lot like you were. That's my Neil Young impersonation. I apologize. This is certainly ridiculous. It's no go for me. And that does it for this episode of Ridiculous Reverb Listings. If you have your own listing that you would like to see on a future episode, I will link down below in the description. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.